All right, hey, what's up, everyone? Here we are back for another guide. Now, we're going to work through this expert guide with a little bit more of an advanced bag. If you have lower clubs and you want to check out the other set of guides, maybe worth a look as well. But knowing how to do this kind of with either or, oftentimes helps you make the decision whether to go expert or to go master. So one of the things that I'm going to try to do here is we're just going to play this up through here, through these fairways, kind of up as far as possible. What do we got? B50, B52 here. Pock 6 would typically be about 6 rings here. That's more or less what I'm looking at, 6.5, somewhere here. And the only thing I'm going to try to do here is straighten this up as much as possible, and we're just going to pull back up to the max line. Now, I'm not worried too much about distance here, just really going to work on precision. And the biggest reason, I just want to make sure that, I get through here each and every time, and getting this up here to a very consistent distance. Less about the number that we see on the screen and just kind of where we wind up on the club. And if I'm a little unhappy with this distance, maybe next time I'll either club up just a little bit. What I'd ideally like to do, I'm just trying to think, I'm kind of on the fence. It's nice to be able to play a long iron. However, the one big drawback to the long iron is the fact that when you have the long iron, it's going to have more wind effect. If I keep it to kind of sniper min distance intentionally, I get to play less wind effect. But the only drawback to that is the needle is actually just a touch faster. The needle speed is a touch faster. The needle speed is a function of distance, so you always have to keep that in mind. But here you can see we did get to the B52 range. Now, anytime where I'm kind of landing on kind of a lower ground with this fairway from where the actual hole is, I'll typically play an offset method. So you'll see that I'm just going to be kind of offset right and short. So I'm going to try to master how much offset to play. There is definitely some uphill component to this, just a touch. So I'll try to keep that in mind. I'm not quite towards max club. So I am thinking 8-ish rings, I'm thinking, almost. That's 7.9. Let's just see what that looks like. And you always want to test your distance, see where the max line is. So let's just say hypothetically next time, and it's tight, but just to the right. So just a little bit too much. So I need to make one of two tweaks. I either have to kind of change my ring adjustment just slightly, or I'll need to change my offset. Look pretty good in my eyes, but one of the things that you have to keep in mind is, next time you play the hole, you might not be to that exact same distance, so you'll want to size up and say, well, where was that +0 or +1 indicator? Or where was my max club? Like, what height is that red line at? Because if you get farther from the hole or closer to the hole, you'll have to go more or less rings. Whatever that ratio is, you have to go more or less depending, because if the ball's in the air for a longer period of time, it's going to have more wind effect. So it's going to deflect harder to the left or harder to the right, depending on what direction the wind is. And vice versa. If you get a little bit more, let's say I drive it just a little bit farther than that, I get a little bit more towards the min-ish club, I'm going to need to go less rings than what I just went there. Okay, I might only go 1 per ring, or I might go 1.1 per ring. It really is just going to depend. And I went just a little bit more than the 1-to-1 adjustment there. And, I wasn't quite at max, but you can kind of, and you'll want to just kind of gauge where that red line is at that max club, because as that changes, you'll also want to change the amount of ring play that you end up playing. So keep all that in mind. Good luck, and I'll see you guys on 2 momentarily.